Hi guys, this is your Rahul and welcome back to Ride and Review. Today here we are in the KTM showroom. As we all know that the Husqvarna started itself with the KTM here in Indian market. And coming to here, we're gonna have the review of the Husqvarna with pillion and the Swart Pillion 250. Of the Swart Pillion, and there's a bike, and we are in the KTM showroom which is tied up with the Husqvarna. And coming to the bike specs, the engine is made up of single cylinder 4-stroke 4-volt DOHC, and it also got the liquid cooling which has a displacement of 248.76 cc and produces a 30 PS of power and 24 Newton meters of the torque. It has a multi-disc slipper clutch. The gear is about 6 gears. You can see a very weird carrier over the tank. There are a few negatives about the bike, but the pros are really good, as it is a scrambler version of the engine. It produces a sexy enthusiasm all over the roads. Got the EFI, which is made up of the Bosch EFI system. And coming to the front, you can see a daytime running light, the ring circular running light throughout, and both are the LED headlamps. And you can see the Husqvarna detailing in the headlamp. But the overall detailing of the bike is really sexy, and you can see so many Husqvarna logos and the titles all over the bike. This bike has got the front WP Apex shocks, which has 43 mm of the drive, and got a single horn. You can look at the radiator, which is large enough to cool the 250cc engine, which produces an absolute mind-boggling performance. But overall, it has got a spokes of the difference, which are very different wheels from the Husqvarna with pillion. The Swart Pillion has got more spokes in the version. Look at the detailing all over the bike. You can see a arrow kind of thing, which is only situated from this part, the Swart Pillion, this part to the connecting to the rear. We can see a monoshocks at the rear. The rear tire and the detailing, you can see a 250 logo right over here. Overall, it comes with an LED. No any kind of halogens you can see on the bike. Everything is in LED, and you got the illuminated handlebar buttons, LED tail lamp, and the LED indicators. You got a Husqvarna detailing over the exhaust, underbelly exhaust, which is known as a catalytic converter right here in the underbelly. Husqvarna detailing once again over the engine. Husqvarna. So many Husqvarnas have been written on this bike. But overall, hats off to the detailing. As Husqvarna is a name of a location which has first made of the Husqvarna, which has started its production right there. It's a small town. It's a company of the production of the weapons. You can see the WP Apex upside down shocks in the front, and once again Husqvarna detailing over the front mudguard. And coming to the front disc, it has got the dual channel ABS, which is switchable, and at the front is 300 mm very huge disc, and at the rear is a 240 mm very huge disc at the rear also. Overall detailing is really crazy over the bike. The handlebar, you can see, is very different and wide as compared to the with pillion. as the Swart Pillion provides somewhat more comfort than the with pillion. as with pillion is an overall crazy scrambler. You can get a split seat, and once again a detailing over here. The tires are different as these tires are. It has got the swat pillion tire got the at the front is 110 by 70, 17 inches at the front, which is semi-adventure. I mean, it can be used both on the roads and on the adventurous terrains. And at the rear is 150 by 60 R17 66H tires at the rear. The rubber is made out of the MRF revs. As you can see, the MRF logo. The placing, the most interesting thing and the thing which I like the most is the placement of the registration number plate right here. It's very low to the ground. As you can see here, the registration number plate can be placed in the screws, and you got a light over here to illuminate the registration number sheet. Here it got a very long swing arm, and the Husqvarna logo over here. As you can see, the finish of the coloring is very good and clean. It is same seen on the KTM. The engine is really same similar to the KTM engine. As the engine and the overall body is situated on a trellis frame, which is known as a split trellis frame, has a powder coated. This handlebar is a raised tubular handlebar. Overall, this bike produces a mileage of the 32 kmpl overall, and in the city it produces nearly about 30 kmpl, and on the highway it gives nearly about 34 kmpl. So overall mileage can be about 33 kmpl. Okay, record started. Pioneering since 1903, the road mode, switched on ABS and the info. Low fuel level, man, it really sucks all the time. But moreover, thanks for the KTM here in the Nizamabad location, as they have provided me a stock bike for the test ride. Holy screw, fucking. Welcome back to the ride and review. As the intro has already completed, once again I am saying in a flow. And today here we got the swat pillion for the test ride, and the width pillion is not available in the showroom for the test ride. Moreover, the swat pillion is more comfortable than the width pillion, as we all know that the changes in the swat pillion and the width pillion, and the width pillion got a clip-on handlebars which are very low and makes you feel like a cafe racer bike. And the swat pillion is an extreme. I mean, it is as usually the scrambler, the stock scrambler, without any kind of extra overall tragedy things which are assisted in it. It has got the handlebar, the normal handlebar. The width pillion used to get a clip-on handlebar, and moreover, and the width pillion, swat pillion, and the Duke 250, these all bikes get with the same engine and the same specifications this year. The 250cc engine, we all know that it produces a 30 PS of power and 24 Nm of the torque at 7,500 RPM. By these things, we can all know that it performs really well as Duke. But I expect the Vitpillen or the Swartpillen to perform a little bit performance more than the Duke 250, because the power is to weight ratio also matters in kind of performance. As the Duke 250 is a bit heavier than the Swartpillen and the Vitpillen. The Vitpillen and the Swartpillen, it is nearly about 154 kgs wet weight, and the Duke 250 is about 164 or else 62, some kind of such, nearly about the numbers. As we all know that it is very low weight than the Duke 250. So we can expect somewhat more performance in the Vitpillen and the Swartpillen. Chalo, let's see what the Swartpillen performs. Till now, the Swartpillen, the engine performance and the riding comfort is really good in the Swartpillen. Swartpillen performs really well than compared to the Duke 250, I think so, because it is naked and the weight is low and all kinds of terms in the Vitpillen or the Swartpillen are somewhat better than the Duke 250. There are more LEDs, more functions in the Swartpillen. Chalo, let's give it a binge as we turn into the third gear. Let's see up to what speed in the third gear it can achieve. Woo. It has achieved 92 kilometers per hour in the third gear, and in the fourth gear 112 kmph in the fourth gear. In the fifth gear it's going to achieve 120 kilometers per hour. And as the sixth gear is a top gear, we can expect it to achieve nearly about 145 to 147 kilometers per hour as a top speed. As in the fifth gear itself, it's going to be achieved the 130 kilometers per hour. And in the last top gear, nearly it will be achieving somewhat more 15 or 17 kilometers per hour more speed than the fifth gear. The overall, the engine is really refined and really so peppy. The exhaust note is also very good as compared to the Dukes. We all know that Duke is gonna have a firing. I mean, it just beats and sounds like auto. Don't take me seriously. I'm just cluster. You can see many things like low fuel level it's showing right now. The buttons are really hard. The fuel range and distance to empty, trip 1, trip 2, road. This is the modes. As in the road mode, the dual channel ABS will be on and it will be functioning. And in the supermoto mode, you can't see the road. And in the supermoto mode, there is the thing which you can get is turning off the rear ABS, which is useful for you to, while you wanna do any kind of stunts or burnouts or wheelies or stoppies or whatever you wanna do, like extracurricular activities. What you're gonna get, you can in the supermoto mode, and you can do the burnouts more. I mean, more referably, you can do the burnouts in the supermoto mode, as the dual channel ABS won't be working. And the EFI also performs really well. The pickup punches and it kicks in yo as the fuel goes. As it got the Bosch EFI, the WP Apex front upside down shocks also work really well. While we are going through a potholes or any kind of such paths, it works really well. It provides a comfortable ride. As you can see, you can't be experiencing more jerks or any kind of heavy jerks while you're going through the rough surfaces of the road. In the Swartpillen, you get the all-terrain tires, like it will be both useful on the road and on the gravel also, like soil or the mud or the rough road, rough surfaces and all. And in the Vitpillen, you won't get such type of tires. In the Vitpillen, you only get a normal radial tires which are tubeless as usual. Both the Swartpillen tires and the Vitpillen tires are tubeless. but they are changed. In the Swart pillion, and the only additional thing you get is alternate tires. Coming to the differences between the Swart pillion and the Witt pillion are very few. You can see a change in the handlebar and extra grips on the pillion rider seat, pillion seat, or whatever it may be. And the major changes are the tires in the Swart pillion. As you can see that you get the 80T alternate tires. In the Witt pillion you won't get such tires. And in the Swart pillion there will be the spokes. I mean the alloys are different than the Witt pillion, as there will be more spokes than the Witt pillion in Swart pillion. As the Swart pillion gets few spokes, 5 or 6 maybe in the Witt pillion wheels. The overall dimensions, technical specifications, performance, everything is same in 3 bikes which are from the same showroom, the KTM. The Husqvarna, Swart pillion, Witt pillion, and even the KTM Duke 250 also get the same specifications as usual. And coming to the overall of the Swart pillion, the riding experience is really good. It gives you a comfortable riding position. But there will be a very huge wind blast when you are traveling at higher speeds, because as it is a scrambler bike. Okay, it's up to the now, and thanks for watching my video. And we are here to the showroom. We'll be handing over the bike back to the showroom people. And thanks for the Moise bike who had provided the Husqvarna Swart pillion for the test ride. Thank you so much.